So, good evening from here. I want to thank everyone for following and for those that have been in support of what we do. I want to you know give my own account. I just feel the society, the community needs this contribution. I want to inject into the internet space. This is on the circumstances leading to the demise of Mohbad, the popular hip hop artist that passed on. Um, Following the interview recently conducted by social media activist, very dark man, I want to thank him. I want to salute his courage, for digging into that situation, that case. Because myself, I think I took interest in it and I was following. And considering the interview that was conducted for these three guys that were close or that were at the point of um, at the point of things surrounding that situation, that case. So he interviewed, I think somebody, one of the friends, the prime boy. Okay, I think he first interviewed Sam Larry, and I was privileged to see that too. I saw that of interview of Sam Larry. I saw that interview of Prime Boy. I saw the interview of the driver that took me back to the show and eventually um, brought him back home. And then the last guy spending. So I think it's the first time I try to follow the case intensely to to see what I could deduce out of it. Now, I think the situation is more or less like a situation of ignorance. And there is this saying that say that there is no mercy in the kingdom of ignorance. I'm sorry to say, the death was painful. So how Mobile, Mobad, lost it. You know. Now, a lot of things are played. He was at the show. I think he took some substance. He became so high, he became so aggressive, and then he started, you know, fighting his friend, who was reported not to respond to the blows he was giving. So in the process, he had the cut trying to eat the glass. The glass got broken, and he sustained injuries on his arm. So he sustained injury, and then blood was actually coming out. So he got home. They said he should go to the hospital. He refused. He said he was going to call a nurse. And they called a nurse. The nurse that was contacted was not around, so he didn't read the message. The following day, um, I think they contacted another nurse until that other nurse came, and then blah blah, something led to another, and he had mobile, not buy. So now, following this scenario, the thing that happened is very, very scientific, medical, and then um, it is not out of place. So we Nigerians, we like to put a lot of emotions into what we do, especially if somebody had had issues, or maybe had fought somebody before then, or maybe they're kind of a tongue of war, or it's all sort of issues has happened. So we are quick to attach our sentiment, our emotions to, you know, these things. Now, somebody had a cut. I don't know how deep that cut was, but he had a cut. And according to, I think, according to which of this guy now, his spending, he said that the hand had already swollen the following day. So if the hand had swollen, so that means the hand was infected. It was already infected. Now, you see, when one sustains injuries and it's not well taken care of, you know that uh, the blood, the circulatory system, the blood flows from the heart. The heart pumps the blood through all part of the body, and then it goes all through the body and then comes back to the heart. It comes back to the heart. So when you sustain injuries, most likely they're going to be like a clot. And then if um, the blood cells got contaminated, and then it's going to move back to the heart, it contaminates the heart. And then a part of the body that is exposed has already exposed to external factors, external organisms. There are organisms everywhere, organism in the air, organism in the water, even organism in the hand of all of us. So even if I touch you or I touch your injury, so because I've used my hand to dip a lot of things, so there are germs in my hand. So that's why it's advisable that you wash your hand before you take any food or any meal. So because even when somebody gives us a handshake, the hand is already contaminated. So and maybe somebody can even use the hand to rub the surface of an injury, and before you know it, infection is spread, through that side. So that's why when there is injury like that, he talked about in the hospital, the first thing you do is to get to the hospital where maybe they can give you anti-infection medication, like injection of your tablet or something, and observe, so that the surface will be protected, and then microorganisms will be protected, because already germs will start to breed on that surface that has been exposed. Now, to the extent that the thing got to it, we were told the thing happened on this Sunday, and throughout Sunday, okay, let's assume it was already late. First thing on Monday, no medication, no health care, no contact. So he was there. So he stayed for another almost 24 hours. Already the heart was contaminated, and there was I think because I think I saw the video when he was in the hospital. He was checking, and that's typical of an infection. Even the heart was it was infected, and then the brain had been cut off. When such thing happens, the brain cannot interpret the flow. There's no synergy anymore, no synergy between the heart and the brain. So it's like a seizure, and at that point it was already gone. Now, this hospital that he was rushed to was a place he should have gone when that thing has happened, but he refused. That is pure ignorance. A lot of us don't take most of these things serious. We love to take things for granted. We have injuries, we have a lot of things, and we just say, okay, fine, don't worry. Because oftentimes, when we're younger, some of us, maybe on the football field, you have hit your leg against a stone, and then you are still playing ball. So these cells get aged as we grow. So, and then immunity drops. also with age. So there is the limit to which the cells can take as we age. So that's why when you sustain an injury, then you could sustain an injury and still be playing ball and still be running around. But now, maybe in your 40s, in your 50s, when you sustain a particular injury, then you see how painful or how difficult the process will take for it to get healed. So that's why I say that, a very dark man has done a very good job, by trying to unveil somebody like me. I just got to know the exact thing that was at play. So I could just conclude that he wasn't killed. It was, it was, it was like ignorance. It was not as if somebody by mobile, as they said. From my own part, no, though further investigation may still be on. So now, putting the wife into consideration in this scenario, for those of us that are married, we have one or two lessons to pick from this. And not only lessons, there are certain situations that we are already acquainted to in the course of our journey in this marriage. The kind of marriage they were into, had already been spelled out by that drama that was at play. So that means the wife was not the submissive type, in quotes. Because if your husband could be talking and then you will be talking back, so that means that the woman wasn't that submissive. Or maybe the man don't have the desired IQ to sustain that relationship, or to defend that relationship, or to spell that relationship, or to set that boundaries. So it was a simple thing, according to Prime Boy. They were talking about, some people flirting around, and then, she put her mouth, and the whole thing escalated, and they couldn't manage it. Until the thing blew out of proportion. So now, where I now think a lot of people force the wife is because that there was frustration in the build-up to the last day after the show. So most likely, the wife wouldn't have shown care because of what was at play. She wouldn't have shown care. And then that was why he was left alone. And according to them, they said she moved upstairs. And then, although we're not able to get the details of what actually happened, I was looking at the scenario where if there has been this good rapport between them, and this whole thing happened, the wife will have been, the foreplayer to ensure that he gets treated. Maybe she will have been the one to insist. She will have insisted that he was taken to the hospital. So, but she believing that it's just a minor injury too, that the husband will come out of it. So at the end of the day, they will not settle whatever that ensued between them. But unfortunately, a gap couldn't pay off. So the gap she left couldn't pay off. So I was not seeing it, as a situation whereby somebody should be held responsible for this situation. For this whole thing, I think it is clear enough from the findings, from the interrogations, from the interviews. I think it is clear enough. It was a pure ignorance that was at play. The pure ignorance that was at play. People will sustain injury, they will refuse to be treated, they will refuse to get a medical attention, they will refuse. They know all, as in they know it all. When it comes to medicine, You don't know it all, But because you have been doing certain things and then you'll be getting away with it, you think it's a standard. It's not. Especially as an adult, when you have injuries that could penetrate the skin, the next thing that you do is to ensure that you get yourself treated. Get an injection, be an analgesic injection that relieve the pain. Also, get something that could be like anti-infection, so that the thing doesn't lead to the worst scenario where you will now be rushed to the hospital and then things will have gone so bad. So thank you for listening. I want to say thank you to Very Dark Man once again for a job well done. And I think we hold the society this a kind of enlightenment, and then we should let them know what the standard for life is all about. Life should not be lived the way we feel we should live it. It has to be lived according to standard. It has to be lived according to the order. So we don't live the life as if we own the life. We should live the life because it's so delicate, and we should tend to accrue that respect that is due to be given to it. So thank you for your time.